Everybody, welcome to episode 315 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined as always by my mainest man from Easton, PA, Willie Saylor. To my left, Kyle Brackey, who is having a lot of Uber issues lately. And to my right, the Wrestling Nomad, whose most of his issues could be solved with Ubers. And we are here. On a beautiful Thursday. This show, hey man, there was a lot of adversity we had to deal with just to get this show here. Willie, we didn't know where he was till 7:57. Kyle was basically abducted by his Uber driver who refused to go the right way to work.
Yep.
So that's why we're a little past the tardy sauce. 8:08.
Why is Kyle taking Ubers?
I took an Uber today because I'm leaving here in a little bit to go to Battle on the Border, Flow football event in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I did not want to leave my car here.
I went there last year. Good time.
Were you scouting some talent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, where to begin? Well, we started rolling out the conference rankings. That's been fun. Big Tens came out on Tuesday, and then, I think it was Tuesday. Who knows when. And then ACCs are dropping today at noon. So that's fun to talk about. But I think before we get into that, whose number one match order has been released? Exciting stuff. I don't know if you want to briefly touch on that, Willie Saylor.
No, although it's still sort of, I don't know. In my dreams, I would like to have the winners of 52 wrestle, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But other than that, I mean, the match order, I think it's a good card, and I think, I put the order together the way I think it's fun.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to that, of course. Who's number one? October 7th. That's a Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the Snake Pit. Great wrestling venue. Okay. Great news. Willie and I are big fans of a particular Iranian wrestler. His nickname is maybe the best nickname. It is the Leopard of Jabbar. And he has bad legs, and his body breaks down a lot. And it's probably because of, well, there's probably reasons for that, but we don't care. We love him for who he is. Reza Yazdani, at one point, he was kind of regarded as the pound-for-pound number one guy. And I've always wanted to see him in the mix with Snyder and now Sajalayev if he's up at 97. And we could see that, says Wrestling Nomad. That match could literally happen.
Yeah, so Reza Yazdani returned, immediately did a sticky foot single, like 15 seconds into the match. Beats some guy who's not really of any consequence in Iran. But he's at 92, which is, apparently it's 92 with a big allowance. But his team and Sajaliyev's team are slated to meet next week, whenever that is. They kind of wrestled random days in the Iranian League. But hopefully Instagram or Telewebion, where somebody posted
Telewebion.
it. Yeah, that's where it's posted. Yeah.
You're just gonna suddenly drop a Telewebion?
Well, I was gonna explain it, but if you look at Spade's Twitter, he has a Telewebion link, which is apparently I've seen that before. I've seen many Iranian matches.
Hey, Sajaliyev's wrestling 92 in that league too.
Yes, correct, but it's with a big allowance.
How about
it's 92 plus 5.
Yes. I'm serious.
Oh my gosh, it's 92 plus 5.
That's what I read on the Team USA forum.
These are fake weight classes. I hate that. I hate enormous weight allowances. I hate them. I hate them I hate it when we do it in Flow Nationals. I hate it with this stuff. Just make it the weight or whatever. I mean,
what fake weights do we have? Oh, you mean because they're so big?
Yeah, it's 120. Plus 5, so it's basically 126. It's a new weight.
Just wrestle 126.
Just wrestle 126. Yeah, just go 26. You want to go 25? Well, then you're at 126. You want to go 20? Go 20. Cut the weight. Willie, you're part of the problem. I think you influenced Telewebion.
Telewebion? No. Listen, kids are stupid. And parents are stupid. They won't, like, if it's 113 plus 5 and it's 118, they're like, yeah, I'll wrestle there. If it's 113 flat, they'll be like, no, we're not a 20-pounder. Yeah, well, you can only make 18 right now. So I'm telling you, they're vain. They're different. They're different people.
You're moving the. No, I'm not even gonna get into it because who cares? We'll take this offline because it's not terribly impactful. So, what intel do we have on the Leopard? Is he gonna go 97? Can he make the team? Probably not.
In classic Rezi Yazdani fashion, he was They already did their trials, which he of course blew off.
Yes.
Not gonna go to those.
Why would I go to those?
Then he was like, well, maybe I want to wrestle at Worlds. Okay, well, we're all going to send you to Medved or something. I don't know. We're all going to send you to this tournament. All right, cool. All their 97s. I'm not going to do that. Okay, well, you're going to go to this other tournament. Not going to do that either. So now he's wrestling in the league. He didn't go to any of the 3 events that they wanted him to go to. He beat the crap out of some not so high on the ladder Iranian. So I doubt we see him at Worlds, but...
And the Iranian that beat Snyder is still there at 97, right?
Yes.
So why would... Yeah, he ain't going. We're never going to see it. I'm giving up on the Leopard.
No. But if we get to see Sadulayev, Reza, that'd be cool.
He took for him. Okay, the Leopard's back. Some ACC nuggets. Jack Mueller, he's going to put on a red shirt. Not going to wrestle this year. It was 2 for 2, 2 All-American statuses.
Wasn't he flirting with?
Did not last year.
R12.
Oh yeah. Bad visual.
Wasn't he flirting with red shirt in last year too, or something? Or maybe flirting with changing weights or something.
I don't know. Well, he did change weights.
He did change weights.
He went from 25 to 33. So he's redshirting, and also in the Old Dominion, Blacksburg specifically, Mekhi Lewis, David McFadden. Willie teased this around a week ago about McFadden going to 74, and apparently they're going to at least try that at the beginning. Mekhi Lewis, 65, David McFadden, 74. Get some.
The thing is with that, though, so if they can cert at 57, 65, like, how long into the season before you kind of have to make the decision to drop?
Well, I doubt. I would imagine if they're starting at 65, 74, they're just going to stick with that. Maybe they'll cert. That's what they're so... every team has their guys certified as low as possible, but I don't think... I mean, listen, do you want Mekhi in that 57 meat grinder? Like, he could be the second best guy, but he could also get 5th in that conference. Go up to 65 just probably makes more sense.
Makes more sense.
Who does that put in at 57, Christian?
They had LaPrade last year.
Yeah, BC LaPrade, maybe.
And then Bolin can redshirt. We talked about this a week ago.
Right. Bolin could redshirt, but we didn't talk about who would go 57. Ryan Blease is still there. Mm-hmm. Chisco is going.
He's still eligible?
Yeah, dog. But he goes 49, but he could go. He's a big 49.
Right.
Very big. He was 57 basically his whole career. So they have guys. They got dudes. They're probably not world beaters at those weights, but they're going to be solid there. So that's interesting. I don't know what McFadden is 74. What does that mean? As far as his prospects go, I don't know. It might be a little tougher for him. But who knows? We'll see.
I still think he'll be fine there. But again,
yeah, he'll be fine anywhere.
65 is tougher as a whole, but he proves himself to be right up there with the best 65. But 74, super top heavy and going up in weight and style clash.
Yeah. Yeah, he would struggle with a Mark Hall type. Okay, so that's some interesting notes from the ACC. And the cool thing about when we start doing rankings, it like kind of, the coaches and wrestlers are like, wait. Well, that's not what actually. So it's actually like a way of accelerating getting the news out. Like we put out the ACC rankings and we find out, McFadden and Mekhi going 65 and 74 and Jack Mueller. So it's pretty cool in that way. We should start doing rankings in like July.
Yeah, that's always my favorite part. Where wait's this guy going this year? Crickets puts out rankings. Well, this is wrong.
Yeah. Well,
thanks, guys.
We asked.
So true.
Okay, we are humming along, baby. 197, Tears for Fears, and it's Bo Nichols' weight. We've discussed this, and he is
not according to the terrible Instagram commenters we have.
What do they say? DeSanto?
Well, I mean, yes, that too. But if you look at it wasn't even number one like in the country. It was number one in the Big Ten, and there was spite on that one. Instagram commenters the worst.
No
go away.
No,
go away.
I think. Instagram commenters in volume, and it's just a bunch of 14-year-olds. Facebook is actually the worst, especially Penn State fans, because any piece of content you put out that is college related. I'll give you an example. 157 redshirt report. Mekhi Lewis, this guy, that guy. Check out the young talent coming in. Penn State fan. Doesn't matter. All caps. Nolf. Every time. 149 thing. 149 ranking shakeup. Sorensen loses to Luco. Doesn't matter. All caps. Zane's pain train. Every time, doesn't matter. Penn State fans have to take whatever piece of content it is and just remind everyone that they have the good wrestlers, as though they were the good wrestlers. No, it's Zane. It's not you.
Iowa beats Oklahoma State in a duel. Penn State would beat both of them in duels.
It's like, yeah, we know. We know. Shut up.
Cool.
My favorite was the guy recently mad that Yanni and Dayton Fix were not in the Big Ten rankings.
Well, he's got a point. You telling me you wouldn't rank Yanni top 5 in the Big Ten? That was a glaring. The reading is. Yeah. Also, Twitter is the best.
Reading's
but
optional.
unfortunately, Twitter is the most reasoned. It's the most educated fan by far. But unfortunately, it's the least used by humanity.
What, Twitter?
Yeah.
I know. Tell this story fully though, Kyle, about the same guy on Facebook. He's like, why isn't Yanni in these Big Ten rankings? And somebody's like, because Yanni's not in the Big Ten. He goes, oh, I missed that part. And then right below he goes, well, what about Dayton?
And the same dude responds and goes, Oklahoma State also not in the Big Ten. The same dude answered him both times.
Well, that was good. That's good. It's good that they were helpful to him. So 197. I know we shouldn't talk about tier 2 because Nichols got this, but just indulge us, Penn State fans.
Just humor us. Just hear us out.
Just for the heck of it.
Did you know they give out 2nd through 8th at the NCAA tournament?
They do. Recent change, 2016. I love it personally. So Colin Moore, Preston Weigel, Kyle Connell, Ben Darmstadt, and Willie Miklas round out tier 2.
First thoughts, Kyle Cannell.
Is it Cannell? I say Connell.
I say Cannell. But yeah, Kyle Cannell.
Pretty sure Cannell.
Yeah, I'm not married to Connell.
What if his mom was named Panama?
I don't think it is.
Anyway, Kyle Cannell, in addition to getting teched by Preston Weigel last year, not NCAAs, I'm aware, he also got teched by, where was it? This is good radio.
Command F TF5.
Yeah. Anyway, he got teched by someone else Scotty Boykin.
Oh my gosh.
He got teched by Preston Weigel and Scotty Boykin during the regular season.
He lost to Aaron Naples from Ohio multiple times as well.
Yeah, that's.
So by all means, you can talk me into putting him in tier 3, but he did beat Colin Moore twice. So.
Yeah, is it identity change type of situation? To use a ranking term we use sometimes, all right, different guy moving forward, or is it wait, is it Zeke Moisey where kind of the same guy and then catches on fire and then he's extinguished for the rest of his life and just goes back to that guy? So
for
that
example,
would be the fun part to learn.
Going back to 133 tiers, I think Tariq can be that can be that identity change.
I do too.
I feel like he has a better case for Cannell, but who knows, right? He beat Colin Moore twice.
Well, if you just look at their skill sets, are you going to take the toss monster or the guy that just gets to legs on everybody?
Right. The getting to legs you feel more comfortable about at pretty much every weight there is, right? So, okay, is Kyle Cannell tier 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's adequately respectful. I think that's where he should be. If you put him in tier 3, I wouldn't jump up and down. But if you're talking about someone that can make the finals,
just you look at the whole of his season.
Yeah.
It's really hard to put him there, but I mean, good Lord, he balled out in NCAAs, so you gotta reward him some way. Now, With him still being in Tier 2, is it okay that Colin Moore is ahead of him?
Is it okay that Colin Moore is ahead of him? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Colin has been more consistent for 2 years. Yes, he has the one tournament, but if NCAAs were tomorrow, I think we would all say Moore outplaces him, even though the most recent, that's not what happened. But that's why, I think over time,
that's why
things return to the mean. And I think Colin Moore is that guy. Now, once again, and we know you hate Iowa. It's fine, Nomad. We don't. But you buried Jacob Warner in Tier 3.
Yep.
Jacob Holschlag, Pat Bruckey, Chris Weiler, Jacob Warner, Christian Brunner, Jake Woodley. And you have him behind Brunner, who he actually lost to, and also Woodley, who he lost to, but he also beat him.
Yep.
Did he wrestle Bruckey?
He lit. Bruckey beat. He's 2-0 against Weiler. He beat Warner. He beat Brunner. And he has beaten Woodley before in high school.
You're saying Bruckey's done this?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And he has maybe the best guns at this weight class?
He is.
He certainly has
shredded. I don't know. Waggle's got some
wow.
Types.
Waggle versus Bruckey. That'd be the battle of the biceps. All right.
So discount Kyle Canale.
They start off the match with a bench off.
He is.
Dang. Okay.
Sweet's jacked.
What can you say?
197 pounders, huh?
Yeah. They're pretty big dudes, it turns out. Okay, so I think Warner in Tier 3 actually kind of fair based on his results, but for you...
Huge upside.
Yeah, exactly, which you acknowledged that with Renan just 2 days ago.
Yeah, because I saw it at World Team Trials.
Well, I saw it also at World Team Trials where he killed everybody.
Yeah, I mean...
And I also saw Jacob Warner smash Willie Miklas.
Yeah, Willie Miklas might be the walking wounded this year, by the way, and might not be able to do anything.
Based on what?
Based on that he's still hurt.
He's still hurt. He All-Americaned at 97.
I know. I understand that. Bodies break down.
Okay. Well, he's Tier 2, and Jacob Warner's not, so...
No, I think Jacob Warner's in the right spot. I think Nomad got him exactly right. I think a lot of us put Jacob Warner a little bit higher in our pecking order. We probably put him in like, hey, this is a kid that could come in and make the finals. And he can, but let's remember that he has those losses last year. I think we put Jacob Warner a little higher in actual rankings in our minds because we know how good he is and we know he was a blue chipper.
Yeah. Well, that's one of his main criteria is big boards. That's what I'm saying. It's like flimsy application.
Yes, I have used it before, but
he's a Hawkeye.
No, he lost to all these dudes. Yeah. And I think he's better if this was freestyle, I'd have him higher cuz his gut wrench is ridiculous. But folk style, do you have him he beat Willie Miklas. Who of those guys would you pick him right now if NCAA's was tomorrow in Tier 2? Pick him against.
I think you nailed it, dude.
Well,
Tier 3.
If you're asking who do I think Jacob Warner could beat, well, let's start.
Could be. I'm saying who would you pick of Tier 2? Would you pick any of those guys? Or excuse me, would you pick Warner over any of those guys? Would you pick them?
I don't want to say it. Well, first of all, Miklas could definitely say it, and
I'm not saying could. I'm saying would you? Like gun to your head right now, would you?
Well, that's not that doesn't.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's the point of that's the exact point of the tiers. That's the exact point of the tiers.
No, that's not death.
No, I would say the exact point of the
not
tiers
death.
is would you if you were get shot in the head if you were right?
Would you pick him over any of those guys in Tier 2 right now?
Dude, I think Darmstadt's a really tough match. I think Warner is a tough matchup for Darmstadt personally. I think he would outplace him. I think he would outplace Kyle Cannell. And yeah, I mean, I can't unsee that Miklas domination. So there's 3.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Boom. I probably wouldn't pick him over Darmstadt. Do
you know how much it hurt me to say? I need backup there. Otherwise, I'm just betraying.
No, I got you. It's it's coming.
Yeah, I think CP nailed it.
Wow.
I mean, here's the thing. Are you doing rankings based on the results? Or are you doing? Look, we all have the same expectation. Yeah, we know Warner lost to Brookie last year. He lost to Brunner. He lost to blah, blah, blah. We all have the expectation that this year he's going to be better than that and probably take top 5, right? So he's ranked right in these tiers. Expectation is he'll beat Miklas. He'll beat Darmstadt. I like him against Connell.
Yeah, I think the tiers are totally expectation. They're not rankings related. They're like, how do we perceive these guys? And if we're doing how do we perceive him, who perceives him 10th? I don't.
I do.
I don't.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fight you so hard.
I this year I do perceive him 10th.
All right, well, get ready for your perceptions to look really silly.
Yeah, he has. We talked about on the last show, like his early slate. Immediately we find out how good he is. Like within the first month of the season, we will know exactly how good Jacob Warner is. And if he's going out there smashing everybody, then then he'll be a national title contender. So. But I think he's going to be like 500.
I mean,
like not the season. I'm talking the early part. Like I think he's going to struggle early on.
Freshman evolve,
especially coming off Junior Worlds.
How could you say he's going to struggle? You think he struggles early on, and then
like I think he's going to drop some of those matches.
And then that's who you think he really is? These freshmen evolve over a season.
Of course.
So he could, in my opinion, he could lose early in the season, and by the time the big dance. Look, Spencer Lee evolved as a freshman.
Absolutely.
Right?
True freshman.
I mean, so if Warner goes out and loses a couple matches early, it doesn't change my perception of him. I think he's going to be a top 5 guy.
I don't think he's going to be a top 5 guy this year. I think next year is the year he makes the big jump. I think this year is going to be tough for him. Not tough for him. Like, he's not going to be terrible. But, like, he's going to take losses this year. He's going to have a lot of close matches this year. Next year is when the jump comes.
I can agree with that. I can agree with he'll make a jump next year. I just think he'll be better than what you think this year.
Like I think next year is when he's going to come out and not just be beating people, but putting away tough matches, putting majors and Texan pins on the board. But I think this year is going to be the learning curve year.
We talk about Nickel a lot. We talk about Cullen Moore a lot, even Darmstadt a lot, and we talk about Warner. Are we? The Bruckies and the Weilers and the Woodleys, well, give a percentage. Like, what do you think their chances of AAing are this year?
Well,
because we have a group of 97s that we talk a lot about, and we have a group of 97s that are like,
well, what I'll say, that top 12 I think is pretty tight, and then who's. When there's not many people that you can see coming into the top 12, it's not like 184 where it's like, yeah, for sure Cordell Norfleet and Lou Dupree and all these guys could jump in the top 12. Right. But when it starts with a pretty limited sample size, I'll say most of those guys are probably 30, 40% maybe, those tier 3 dudes. Like Woodley's really, really good. Brunner I would put probably more towards the back. But Weiler, who knows? If he can get some real size, I really like his upside a lot. He's a really skilled dude. I loved him coming out of high school and just hadn't found the right weight, had some injury issues, etc. I like him a lot. Brucky is obviously proven a great deal, and Holschlag's solid. So I would say those guys are in the 20-30% range.
I think doing these tiers, it's just so clear that there's, so that's like 149. Right, where we have no idea who's going to win. But there's like a clear favor, like a clear top 2, and then 3 or 4 solid guys. And then just it's a matter of, how healthy you are and what your seed is and where you fall in the bracket and, how you navigate the NCAA bracket. And I think 197 is just another example of that. Can Holschlag AA again? Sure. Would we all be terribly surprised if he didn't? Of course not.
Right.
Like, can Warner jump into tier 2? Of course he can. Like, but can Bruner and Woodley and Weiler and Brucky also make life difficult for all those guys? Absolutely.
No, I'm with Christian though in this one. I think you have your top 12. I don't think it's bracket dependent. Although there are a couple guys let's talk about guys in the lower tiers.
Okay.
I think Eric Schultz is tough, and I think Jackson Strigo is way down there. He had a decent year, didn't he?
He's just like perpetually
he beat Beasley
18 through 22,
and he can he can be a ranked guy, but can he jump into?
I think Tom Slay. I don't know. I'm just hearing good stuff about him, like doing great at Virginia Tech. So he's interesting to me.
Yeah, Slay
changes scenery.
So Slay, 3-time qualifier. 2 of the years he went 0-2, and then another year he went 2-2. So he's got plenty of NCAA experience. Maybe a whole year off, did really good for his body, and he'll be fine. But
I like Loazo's got some stuff too. He's a funky dude.
Pain to wrestle.
He has got some weird stuff. I think he's a pretty cool guy to watch. Check him out. Go watch some of his matches. He's an exciting dude. So those are the ones that stick out. If Lucas Davison goes right away, interesting. I think he could use a little refinement for sure, but I like him as a prospect a lot. He definitely jumped out during Fargo. And I like Brandon Whitman if he goes. I like Martin Mueller from South Dakota State. Is he going up?
That's what I read that somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's like a fly in the ointment guy at 84 and 97 that is just going to be a thorn in people's sides all year. I'm with you as far as Davison and Whitman. I really like Whitman's leg attacks. I think he's going to be big for the weight, as you said with Davison. So, obviously we saw true freshman last year, right? We saw Brucky do well. Weiler was young in the season, so I think it's generally hard for young guys to do good at 197, but there are going to be a few.
True?
I've not dug into this. I just feel like it's hard.
Just more of a feeling.
It's hard unless you're a
super
top tier guy coming in Colin Moore, right? Immediately showed himself to be high level, early on in his freshman year. But I think generally it's a little harder.
Feel you.
You gotta get to that third year.
Okay. Any other 197-pound thoughts?
It's just like you said, the top 12 is what it is, and then there's some guys that are going to be tough and create problems for people, but this is kind of just a weird way. I do have one thing. So Machiavello went from round 12 at 184 to national champ, and then before that, Farr went from 1-2 at 184 to a guy who got third and second at 197. Yes. Are those random outliers, or do you think we're going to start seeing more?
I think we'll see we're going to see the reverse Machiavello from round of 12 to champ. I think Nickel's going to go from champ to round of 12.
He's going to drop down.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm saying it right now. No, I don't know who's coming up. Like Martin Mueller. Who else?
That's the thing. It would be like a guy like Mueller who wasn't much at 184.
No, that's not happening.
I think.
No, that's what I'm asking. Was it just two random blips that?
I don't think. No, it's not. Those are not random blips. Those were. That is just indicative of the weight class disparity between 84 and 97, but there's no one of Brett Farr or Machiavello level talent coming up. But certainly if someone else moved up, it would probably happen again.
Okay, that's what I was
still
asking.
stinks.
I know about this year, and obviously Nickel's coming up, but we expect Nickel to win anyway. I'm saying, do you think it could be a thing going forward to keep an eye on?
For the foreseeable future, as long as this weight looks like this, someone that is okay at 84 can come up and have a lot of success. That's not changing until this weight gets better. I long for the days of Varner and Brester and Hudson Taylor. 97 had some years. Okay, questions from friends. I don't know if we can.
Real quick, we never did the episode.
Oh, episode 315, which is Central New York.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ithaca?
I don't know if that's Ithaca.
I feel as though, because I had some New York guys talk to me about this, and I feel like they would have said.
No, they're 607.
Nickerson.
Ithaca is.
These are the ones I got: Steve Brown, John Clark, Justin Lister, Mitch Clark. Episode.
Where's Duanesburg? Where Gwiz is from?
I don't think he's.
That's 518. 518. So we're just about.
We got ways to go.
Dude, 607 is Ithaca. We got a while for Dake's episode.
Sorry, man.
What, is 315 real Buto?
No, he's like New York area.
I have no. Like New York City?
Right?
I don't know, but you just said New York.
You just said New York.
Oh, sorry, yeah, as in the city.
It's just the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the area of the state. Anyway,
well,
yeah.
like
so
West Virginia, they have one area code. Man.
Central New York. Come on.
True.
Get us some more guys to talk about.
They were fired up. They saw this one coming, more so than 8 Mile. Okay, so it's 315. Who knows? 316. That'll be Stone Cold Steve Austin, I guess. All right, can we get a top 10 radical takes from Wrestling Nomad list? Well, such a list exists. Now, are we going to put this out there? Can the community possibly handle all of these rocket launcher takes from Nomad at once? My thought is no. So maybe
I think we go.
Maybe it's a slow drip.
Rogue.
Huh?
I think we go rogue with it, and we do it like we put out an article about it. I think we run it as a piece of content
Behind the paywall.
It is all time. Some of the stuff.
It really is, and it is an emotional experience to read it all at once. You have to think about us, guys. We need to give them a taste. We have to give them at least a little taste at this point.
We hired Nomad, and we're like, yeah, guy loves wrestling. He comes down to Texas, and we had to learn this stuff about him.
Yeah.
And then we're sitting around, and he says stuff like, "I don't trust refrigerators," and we're like,
no. He said, "I don't trust refrigerators in Texas."
Yeah.
The refrigerator out here sucks, by the way. Have you noticed that?
Is it an honesty
issue? No,
issue?
for real. Have you noticed that? It's really bad.
It's all right. I mean,
how's the fridge at your apartment?
Not so great.
So he says things. He just like kind of drops us.
But for real, have you noticed that?
I put my food in there every day. I eat every day, and it's just fine.
It comes out not as cold.
Okay. Just
the food chemically changes in that refrigerator?
No, I'm saying that fridge in particular.
This is what we're talking about.
This is what we're talking about, people. So,
dude, it's so bad. Like, put your hand in it. It doesn't even feel cold.
So here's what happens.
Put your hand in it. Like today.
He said, I put my hand in it every day when I take things out and put things in it. So he says.
It does not feel cold at all.
He comes with like some frozen pineapple or something. I forget what he does, but he says, I don't trust refrigerators in Texas. And so logically that makes no sense because, well, the refrigerators aren't. I get it. It's hotter down here, but the refrigerators are not out. They're not outside. They're in a 70-degree room, so it makes no sense. So that was one, and he also doesn't trust drive-throughs. We're gonna slowly trickle these out. Maybe
that's not what I said at all.
It is what
you
said.
He disputes every single one of them, by the way.
And so he also
no, it's not. I've never said I don't trust drive-throughs. What I say is drive-throughs suck, and they're like ordering online is less efficient than ordering on the phone, and going through drive-throughs is less efficient than
I was
going
with you
inside.
when you had this take. We went to FlyRight, and you said, I don't trust drive-throughs. I like to give my order to a person.
Yeah, well, that's because it's better. It's quicker. It's more efficient. You're more likely to get
when
the order right.
When you go to the drive-thru, you give your order to a person, by the way.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, but they're not looking at you. They're not making eye contact with you. Seriously.
You're giving it to a human.
The eye contact.
You're not giving it to a robot.
You're giving it to.
You need to give them that eye contact. Otherwise, they're going to put pickles all over everything.
What are you more likely to get a wrong order from? Drive-through or ordering like over the counter?
Exact same.
Absolutely equal.
Because who you give the order to doesn't even put your order together, Nomad.
No.
That's a fact.
Drive-through.
That is a fact.
Drive-through less effective than going in person.
You don't have empirical data on this.
Yeah, you made this up. This is
all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah, you're right. Slow drip.
Slow drip.
Not all that.
Yeah, people. Yeah. All right. Here's the thing. I'm making one exception one time because I want to say this.
Okay.
The medium to submit an FRL question is Twitter. Okay?
Twitter.
If you tell me I don't have Twitter, it's one thing to say I don't have cable or I don't have a car. Okay? I can empathize with that. Twitter is a matter of internet access. Okay? You have the internet because you emailed me this question. So all I'm asking you to do is take the 2 minutes to make an account, and that's just where I want you to submit it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Was this person named Kimball Barnes?
No, it wasn't.
Because Kimball Barnes followed us this morning, and his bio is literally only have a Twitter to ask #FRL questions.
Wow. Kimball Barnes, you're doing it right. And
You're doing it right, Kimball Barnes.
That's the template in which that's what I'm looking for, okay? So don't tell me you don't have Twitter or Facebook. You literally make the account. You can have the egg avatar for all I care, and just every Monday and Wednesday evening, log in, ask the question, and you can log out. You don't have to actively participate in Twitter just in this scenario.
Okay.
Well, I don't get when I get emails that say, "Here's an FRL question." Like, where did you must have saw this on Twitter, no? Or you're just writing in randomly?
If you
Maybe
listen
they
to
watch
the
the show.
If you listen to the show.
Because we do, so when I put it in the minutes, I just say FRL listener questions. And I guess we don't specifically ever say, like, questions culled from Twitter. Now,
right, you bring them from Twitter.
Just to piss CP off, would you consider putting it on Instagram story using the whatever that is, ask me something, the like pseudo form string
in no
thing?
scenario would I ever do that. No.
You don't want to take questions from Instagram. They're 12.
Yeah. Like, which J's should I get? I don't know, Kenny. Okay, so here, I'm asking this question against my better judgment, but the guy sent the email, and then he sent a follow-up email to ensure I got the email. So he really wants this question. He actually asked 2 questions. I'm only reading one, Doug. Question number 2 was, is Gable a better wrestler or coach? Same question for Kale. Are there any other legendary wrestlers who are also incredible coaches? Maybe Tom Brands. Was Gable a better wrestler or coach? He was a better coach. Kale, was he a better wrestler or coach? I'm projecting.
Yeah.
He will eventually be viewed as a better coach than a wrestler. He will be more known for being a coach than a wrestler.
How can you be a better coach than a wrestler when you're the #1 all-time wrestler?
Well, because I don't think either of them are. I mean, Kale's certainly the best college wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
But he could also go down as the best college coach of all time. Gable's certainly a better coach than he was a wrestler.
Gable's coaching has, like, warped people's minds in terms of what his career was, to the point that Hawkeye fans will defend him to the death despite the fact that he wrestled for the Cyclones.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I think he had an amazing career. He's an Olympic champion, unscored upon, 2-time NCAA champion, and he was just like a mythological figure as well. But yeah, I think both are better coaches, or Gable is viewed as a better coach, I think, and then I think Kale ultimately will be, which is scary because he's 4-time undefeated national champion.
It's also hard when your career is like less than 7 years as a wrestler, and your coaching career in Gable's was 21 years. Kale's coming up on what, 12, 13?
Yeah, ballpark.
So your coaching career is 2 or 3 times as long as your wrestling career. It's going to be hard for your wrestling career to equal that if you're peeling off national championships.
True. Okay. I guess we'll ask this. Why not? Should Dayton Fix go 33 or 25? He can challenge Seth Gross as in the same conference, or Spencer Lee to take on a team rival. Can he beat either? What impact does his decision have on the team race? Well, I think his decision has a pretty solid impact. I do think he can challenge Seth Gross, even though that's a really tough matchup for him. But I think he can go with him. And I do think he can beat Spencer Lee, although I would not predict that to happen. And I think he should go 133 pounds, and that's has nothing to do really with who's in either weight. It's all about Dayton is a 33-pounder. You can't convince me. I really believe that. I think he could if NCAAs were just like, hey, you just like register like for the U.S. Open and you can just go 25 for that weekend. Sure, I think it's gonna. My biggest worry, and I want Dayton to have a good year, right? I'm a big fan of his. Awesome kid. I'm worried about the wear and tear that 125 pounds week in, week out is going to have. Look, I don't think it's the two things are unrelated. That he got sick at the Southern Scuffle and wasn't able to make weight and compete, right? I think those were related. I think the amount of weight he cuts and the frequency with which he's going to have to do it will have an impact on his immune system. And
well, yeah, I think you worry about his health with the cutting, but also this is the way I see this playing out. If first of all, the pitch at 25 and Dayton at 33 is better for the team I think in everybody's opinion, right? But if they entertain the idea of Dayton wrestling 25, this is the way I think this plays out. And I think it's the only way it plays out. Dayton's going to wrestle in back-to-back duels or sometime early in the season, late November, early December, and he's going to be like, no, this ain't going right. I cannot weigh in on a Friday and a Sunday and compete and feel good. And then they're going to switch.
Yep. So he should go 33.
The only way I see this playing out.
Yeah.
I think it's better for the team too.
Yep.
You get Pitch in the lineup at his right weight at 125, where he's been awesome at.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dayton can do the same placement at either 125 or 133.
Yep.
So you're not losing any points.
And how many times have we seen, at least in recent memory, really high level 125s, and maybe it doesn't take its toll freshman year, but by that senior year, you're done. McDonough and Delgado.
Well, I think if Dayton were to go 25, it would be a 1-year deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Now, who does that leave on the bench though?
Well, I think it's
Cade or Caden.
If Dayton goes 33, I think that Gefeller is squeezed out, unless he goes up and can beat Boo, which I don't think that he probably can. If Dayton goes 25, and what if Cade decides he's still a 33? Then I think Pitch gets squeezed out.
Yeah, I was asking about Dayton going 33.
Dayton goes 33. I think it's Gefeller.
Yeah.
That's my thought. But who knows? Iowa's Hawks wrestle fan, Iowa State guy. Iowa's lineup this year should only feature one Iowa native, Wilkie. Is the state of Iowa falling behind in top-end wrestling talent? Meanwhile, they will have 5 PA natives starting. How big of a concern is this for the U of I? It's a huge concern, and there's nothing they can do about it. They can't make the state produce elite talents. They just need it to happen, and then they can get them because they have a strong track record of getting typically the best Iowans. They didn't get Teskey or Thompson, which that wasn't ideal, but for the most part, they get them. But at least, to your point, they have 5 PA natives starting. Well, that's where you should be going. That's where you should be getting guys. And Iowa proving they can go outside of Iowa and recruit is big. But, yeah, it's harder to pull guys from PA. It's hard to get guys out of state, especially if Penn State has them targeted as a recruit.
Funny, isn't it, that Cal left Iowa to go to Pennsylvania for better recruiting grounds, and Iowa now has more starters from the state of Pennsylvania than Penn State.
Yeah.
It's very impressive on Iowa's part that they're able to go into Pennsylvania and get these guys. And then also you go into Ohio and get Marinelli, former Ohio State commit, and you get Warner from Illinois. So I think it's really impressive job by Morningstar.
Yes.
When did Marinelli commit to Ohio State? Because I heard that the other day too, and I have no recollection of it.
It was like sophomore year, right, Will?
Yeah, he was young.
Did he commit like around the same age as like Gavin when he committed to Iowa? Like just real beginning of sophomore year?
Sounds about right.
Because that just I was like, what? When did that happen?
I don't think it was.
So
yeah, it was early, and it was early, and it was like unreported. You know what I mean? It kind of just leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I was just gonna say what I've heard about Iowa right now is the club coaches at the high school level. So obviously, clubs are really important, right? In the current state of wrestling, right? Obviously, there's a ton in Pennsylvania, Young Guns and formerly Legend, Dark Knight, Quest, right? It goes on and on. the club coaches right now, I hear, are very contentious with each other and kind of don't want to train together. And so when you have a state that's not super population dense to begin with, or is way smaller than Pennsylvania, and you kind of isolate guys from the other good guys they could be wrestling with, you're going to kind of top out as far as how good you can get. And I mean, Iowa was never as good as Pennsylvania to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, but they're just down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're coming back. I think they're going to be better than what they have been the last couple of years. But Iowa, what they have produced recently has not been great.
What is the floor and ceiling of Minnesota? Got transfers in Skatska, Russell, and Allar. Gable comes in ready to win a title. Lower weights are bumping up. I think their ceiling is, I'll say top 5. I think they could get there, but that's going to require Gable.
This year, top 5?
I mean, if we're talking ceiling, if Gable wins a title and you just have that 22 points right there, and then they have Russell. If Russell gets 8th, and what if Lezak makes another final and gets 3rd with a bunch of bonus, and then you've got McKee, who is like ready to get over the hump, and Tommy Thorne. Those are 4 or 5 guys that I think you could pencil in potentially high end. It's their ceiling, right? But if they get 4 All-Americans and they have a champ there, that's going to put you in that top 5, 6, 7. You go back and look at NC State. They could be in that mix. A champ is such a tremendous boost. It's literally 2 All-Americans, right? So if they get that, and then I liked Allar a lot coming out of high school. I don't know how are they looking 84 and 97. I'm not super.
Owen
pumped.
Webster.
No, it's gonna be Crone. It's gonna be Crone again.
Croners.
What happened to Owen Webster?
Don't worry about it. Leave him be.
Leave Owen alone.
I was told yesterday it was gonna be Crone.
I
84.
believe you.
Crone's got some craziness.
He does.
He's good on
I
top.
think all Crones, even though their last names are spelled differently, do crazy stuff. Because the one guy gets for the Wisconsin dude, he just gets cradled and pins dudes.
Yeah, he would let people.
Oh,
cradle.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew Crone. Okay, so top 5. That sounds kind of crazy, but I'm literally taking this question literally the absolute ceiling. If kind of all those guys do their best, that's what I'm saying. Make fun of me. Yeah, they're not going to be top 5 probably, but.
No, when you're right, the value of a champ is super important, and Lezak has gone 2nd and 4th in his 2 NCAAs, so it's not terribly out of the realm possibility that he could get there again.
Yeah,
and
he didn't place as a true freshman.
Right, I'm saying the last 2 years. So yeah, you're right. So didn't place 2nd, 4th. McKee, yeah, I think McKee's kind of a big one. They need to get some points from him. And then Haller, like you said, we didn't see him at all. Last time we saw him was July 2017, Fargo.
Okay, that's a little.
Yeah, he didn't wrestle a match last year. I just went
to
try to
long time.
Wow. So that's not without consequence. So that's how I view. I mean, Minnesota probably realistically, I don't know, 12th to 16th, but certainly they have some high upside if Gable wrestles. And
they just picked up a recruit the other day, cadet world champ Matt Ramos. So kind of interesting there to see if they go him at 33, Pat McKee 33, whatever. And they got a big recruiting class this year. So seems like Eggum is trying to get them back to where they were a few years ago.
I think Pat's at 25 for. You never want to say forever because he could grow, but I could really see him.
He's always been small.
Yeah.
And never been like, oh, that kid is 5'9", he's going to put on weight.
Okay. I want to follow up. Well, let me read this one. Watched an interview. You know what I was going to do, Willie. We'll get to it. Watched an interview with Kirk Flick discussing his recruiting. He didn't mention a campus visit with Oklahoma State. Are they out of the picture? Are you guys still set on him going to Penn State? Sounds like he worked a lot with Snyder at Camp Pendleton. Yeah, I still think he's going to Penn State.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going. Oklahoma.
How's my stomach, guys? Sorry.
What?
My stomach just rumbled really loud.
Crazy loud.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he's going. I think Penn State's clearly in the mix. I still think he thinks about Okie State. But I don't know. I don't have any inside information. I don't know where he's going to go.
Here's the thing with the visits that he mentioned and the school list that he gave me. They're taking a bunch of unofficials too. Like they're going on.
I know they have to be, because in his latest interview they asked him where he's going and he said 12 places. I was like, well, some of these you're paying for.
Yeah, so
I get 12 officials.
They're going some of these unofficial on their own dime. So he's going to end up with more than just the 5 officials. He's going to be in the 8-9 visits range.
Okay. Following up on maybe the most important message of FRL ever, the Emo's Pizza trashing session. And it was amazing. So we talked about last Tuesday, 2 days ago, the worst pizza ever, because it was the St. Louis episode, and it's Emo's, and it's in St. Louis, and it is garbage. And I have confirmation of the garbage. Derek Lewandowski replied after we talked about that. He's like, oh my family and I actually got Emo's Pizza when my daughter was doing a college visit. You're right, worst ever. So funny to hear you mention on FRL, cryface, laughing. Then someone replies to that and said, I have no idea how it ever became a chain. Before the first store, they should have realized how awful it is and closed up shop. So these guys are having a little conversation. Then the guy replies to him, right on, being from New York, it was a shocking experience.
Read the next one.
Then this guy, this is great. So Derek's from New York, and this guy Adam says, I can imagine. I'm from Iowa, and it was discouraging. And our best pizza comes from a gas station.
Casey's. Casey's.
And then Melina.
Best pizza in the world, Casey's.
Melina Wick off the top rope, the mother of Evan and Xander, says, okay, I Googled it and searched images. Looks like the really cheap frozen pizza variety. That's the biggest compliment you could pay Emo's, is that it is cheap. If it could get to the bar of cheap frozen pizza, that would be an improvement.
Every frozen pizza I've ever had has been better than Emo's.
100%.
100%.
Cafeteria pizza at Buffalo Gap High School, way better. Actually, I would love a piece of that right now.
Who said Adam Hale? How did it he raises a good point. How did it become a chain? I mean, they opened one storefront, and the people of St. Louis flock to it, and by word of mouth are like...
I think it's an indictment on the people of St. Louis.
Yeah.
This is an indictment on people of St. Louis. So they liked it so much, and they spread the word, and this becomes your town's pizza?
Well, it's not so strange when you consider the bizarre delicacies around the world. Iceland...
I was going to say...
Iceland does this one where they bury a shark and it decomposes and then they exhume it and they eat it, right? That's got to be the worst thing to eat, but it's a thing in Iceland, right? So in the same way, in St. Louis, it's Emo's Pizza. That's how I think.
So Emo's Pizza is equivalent to a buried dead shark that decomposes.
Yeah, there's lots of examples I could have used. I'm sure in India and some of the African countries.
What are some others that are just like, okay, people from here, they love this, but it's
Skyline Chili.
It's not good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everyone says Skyline Chili. I was just in Cincinnati. I didn't get it.
I hate it. It's trash. And a lot of people feel that way unless you're from Cincinnati.
What's wrong with that
area?
What's wrong with Skyline Chili?
It's just not good. It's first of all, it's like spaghetti with just sauce over top of it.
They put pasta in it?
It's not chili. It's not a bowl. It's a plate. You get a plate.
It's not actual.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I thought it was actually chili. Well, it could be like a chili dog.
Who's number one?
You can get a chili dog, but like this is.
Oh. What? Oh, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's trash.
Look at all that
When did you have it?
Yeah, when did you have it, buddy?
When I was in college, went home with a few friends from Cincinnati. Had it there, tried it, trash.
Wow.
Yeah. And who's number one? I want to hear Cornell Robinson's take on who.
Yeah.
Who has
hey,
the best
so
pizza.
tweet us on some stuff that is regional that people love, that just is bizarre, like Emo's Pizza.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat Emo's. You're gonna have to go like goat hoofs in like the Congo or something to top it.
Shout out to Derek Lewandowski. He's the guy that does the Wayne Fish interviews.
Oh.
Yes.
So okay.
And he has two daughters who are very good at wrestling. So
nice. Okay. Well, I think we can go. I'm ready. Control room.
You finally got it right.
Feel free to
hang on.
Oh wait.
Well, I want to answer Kimball Barnes' question since he created a Twitter account.
Yes.
Just to ask
I
questions.
didn't see it.
It was an hour ago, so that's probably why.
Oh.
But he said, FRL questions. Created Twitter to ask this. Is the Piles family still in hiding from the free lawn service?
That's going back.
Good
several episodes.
Great question. So to get you up to speed, ever since I've lived in Texas, every other Wednesday, a fleet of lawnmowers, a team, a squadron comes and like 10, 15 minutes, they knock out the whole yard. It's great. It's edged. It's mowed. They move the picnic table out of the way. They're amazing, right? But we have never paid for this, ever. But they just show up, so we don't say anything. And I know you're thinking, like, ethically, is this wrong? Is it right? They're clearly getting paid, right? Because they keep coming back. They don't just, this is not a volunteer. This is not charity. So what happens is...
Hold on. But when they first show up, like a battalion of the army, you round your children up and say hi.
Yes. When they're here, we hear that vroom. We're like, guys, get down. We don't want anyone to come ask any questions at all. So we just like avoid the windows. We get out of the way. Now, so this is going on for 2 years now, almost. Now, I regret to inform you all that apparently this was something that the previous owner of the home had in place, because if you don't know this, we went from renters to homeowners. So we bought this house, and then we're like, this will be the ultimate test. And unfortunately, I have to report that there is no longer a squadron of lawnmowers. It is me. I'm back to my mowing routine. I'm not anti-mowing.
How long did you wait before you were like, okay, they're not coming?
Well, the nice thing is grass grows really slowly when it's 110 degrees every day and doesn't rain. So you could really let it ride out, but then you get the little spindly things. It's so disgusting. So we gave it we gave it a couple weeks, right? You can give it a couple weeks and there's no like, it doesn't look bad. And then we're like, you know what? We just had to come to terms, had to get a lawnmower because I left my other one in Virginia, and I mowed it.
Everything else with you?
No problem. Yeah, brought everything else.
I distinctly remember that day. Me and Bader in the back, like climbing like monkeys. Me and Bader, all the way in the way back, shoveling stuff down.
Yeah, Bader hit me in the face with a packet of clothes hangers.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was, yeah. Anyways, so no.
Did you get the biggest U-Haul truck possible for that?
Yes, we did.
That thing was packed to the gills.
It had a lot of
understandable.
stuff.
It was a 4-person family. You're moving across country. I get it.
Yeah.
But it was shocked.
It was way too much. And then every now and again, I'll look and I'm like, we brought this from Virginia? Like, just something so stupid. Why is this here? Yeah, I'm more of a get rid of stuff. Anyways, who cares about that? I'm mowing my lawn, and it's fine now. Thank you to, what's his name again?
Kimball
Barnes.
Yeah, Kimball Barnes.
Thank you, Kimball. You're doing it right. Thank you for making Twitter. You don't have to read anything else, but thank you for submitting your FRL questions. Now, officially, Control Room, feel free to play the outro music. We're ready to go. We will be back Tuesday. No, guys, I'm going to Disney tomorrow. Have I told you guys that? I'm going to Disney World tomorrow. Colin Moore, I'm going to hit you up, ask for some advice where I should go. So he loves Disney World. I don't know if you knew that. I'll be back Wednesday. So no show Tuesday, next Thursday. So you guys got a week. I'm sorry to report that. I'm sorry to spring that on you. But yeah, I'll be gone. But not forgotten. So next Thursday, thank you to A6. Thank you to you guys. Willie, do you have anything to say before we go?
No.
All right, well, since there's going to be no show on Tuesday, watch Who's Number One the show, 10:30 a.m. Central Time on Wednesday. And I did North Carolina depth chart yesterday. Willie's doing North Carolina recruiting targets today. And then who are we doing next week? I don't know.
Next week is Ohio State.
We already did Ohio State.
We already did them.
We already did Ohio State. Duh. Next week is Penn State, maybe?
We could do Arizona State, Virginia Tech, Cornell, NC State, Missouri. One of those. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out. We got some time. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks, A6. See you next Thursday.